Hello to you, my cosmic dragon friends. Welcome or welcome back to the channel. We are back today with a group reading. This is an energy update for everyone. Now, this is intended as timeless, so it doesn't matter when you're finding this reading. But as I'm recording it, we are actually on the dark moon right now. So the moon is not visible at the moment. It has just come out of Scorpio and literally just moved into Sagittarius. Yesterday, I think we had both the moon and sun in Scorpio, so it's been quite an intense energy, quite a deep energy, and I've been called to delve into those depths at the moment and see what's going on with the energy for us and see what messages we need to hear from our guides and from our higher selves as well. So we are deep in the dark energy of the dark moon here. We cannot see the first crescent yet. So this is, although technically it says the new moon on my calendar, I don't count it as the new moon until you can see that first slither, that first crescent of light. At the moment, we are working in deep, dark shadow energy. We are in the realm of Hecate. We are in the realm of the dark goddess. We're in the realm of Lilith. They have a lot to teach us, but we have to be in the dark to see it and understand it and appreciate it. So just a reminder, the shadow is nothing to be afraid of. It's just that which is not illuminated. And that is the difference. Light and dark are not objectively good or bad. They are just what they are. One is illuminated, one is in shadow. And that's the only difference. So I've got the Moonology cards here to start with. I've also got the Mushroom Spirit Oracle because I'm feeling a very dark mushroomy energy coming through. So of course we have the Midnight Magic Tarot as well, which is all mushrooms too. So we're going to be working very much with those dark, dank energies. And what I really like about mushrooms is they are part of nature's cleanup crew. You know, they help to get rid of things when they're rotting, when it's time for them to go, time for them to metamorphise into earth, back into Mother Earth, to become nourishment for the next generation of whatever that will be growing next. It's fascinating. But mushrooms are also, they're messengers to us as well. They tell us when something isn't right. They tell us when something's too damp. They tell you when your bread's gone off and you shouldn't be eating it anymore, because there'll be little spots of white or green mould saying, don't eat this, this is ours now. So let's see them for what they are, as little messengers, little damp messengers that drop spores. They also have a lot of DNA in common with us. An uncanny amount of our DNA is the same as fungi, which is very, very interesting. You know, we have a symbiotic relationship with fungi, with bacteria. Without them, I don't think we would be able to survive. So very interesting. But let's find out what the theme is for this dark moon for everybody, or for whenever you're finding this. And this is a message to go into the shadow, into the deep depths and find out what's going on. So we have, you're very close to achieving your goal. Interesting. Have faith in your dreams. A fiery climax approaches. Now that is interesting. I like how the cards follow on one from the other here, very, very clearly repeating aspects of the same message. So whatever it is that we're trying to achieve right now, we can get there. It may seem unlikely because it probably feels like you might be in the dark at the moment thinking, oh no, this is never going to happen. and yet, full moon in Aries, I mean, you couldn't be more obvious. Yes, it's going to happen. Aries is going to make it happen. Full moon is going to shine a light on it for you. So this is very, very exciting energy. And I think there's a little bit of support and encouragement coming through here for the collective today, to let us know not to give up hope, not to become too discouraged, even if things don't appear to be going our way all the time. And I know, we all know that things don't go our way all the time, but certain times in our lives, we really need them to help us out. You know, we might be trying to buy a house, we might be trying to secure a new job or a new location or an opportunity or make something work. You know, you might be trying for a baby. So many things that we want to do, want to achieve in our lifetime. And there's something very important to us, perhaps, that will actually come to pass that we've been asking for, hoping to do. So bring love into the situation with the new moon in Aquarius, and it's time to release negativity with the full moon in Scorpio. Yes. Yes. This is a very nice message, actually. It's very gentle energy with this message. You have to excuse my voice. It's a little bit weak at the moment because I have a little bit of a cold and my voice isn't as strong as I'd like it to be. I'm still working up to that again. I think I wore it out recording the last video, which actually premieres tonight at 6 o'clock. It's called Who Has a Crush on You? I thought that'd be a fun one to do, and it was a fun one to channel. So do check that out. It's on the channel later. Yeah. Bring love into the situation. It feels like you might have rejected a dream or a goal because you thought, oh, it can't happen, so I'll reject it before it can reject me. I'll pretend I don't care or push it away before I can fall or fail or be rejected by somebody else, and then I'll feel better because to the eyes of the world I will have been the one that walked away first. That's something we see quite commonly in relationships with certain people as well. It's like, I will hurt you before you can hurt me, or I will run away from you before you can leave me. Very sad. Yeah. Full moon in Scorpio. I want to talk about this being the theme of releasing negativity under this dark moon. Understanding the reasons, the motivations behind our actions, and not just the logical ones that we convince our reasons, our logical reasons. That's just the ego mind talking. The ones that come from a deeper self, from the wounded self, from the inner child. What exactly are we acting on? What are we reacting to? Because it may actually not be the present situation we're reacting to. It might be something quite different. Don't let pride get in your way. Yes, full moon in Leo. It does look a bit like Bedford, actually. He may or may not be joining us. He's currently asleep on my bed, so probably not. That's my cat, for anyone who's new here. He's a Bengal and he likes to get involved. Yeah. It's okay to fall and it's okay to fail. You don't feel, I want to say, don't feel like you have to run away from things or reject things or throw them out just so that you don't fail, so that you don't lose face or think, because you still get hurt either way. It doesn't make any difference. Right? It's not like you can avoid the pain. That way it doesn't work. Trying to avoid pain doesn't avoid pain. If that makes sense. Trying to avoid... Okay. That works. I mean, if you're like avoiding doing DIY because you don't want to hit your thumb with a hammer and you get someone else to do it, well, that's fair enough. That's a bit different. It's not about taking precautions. It's about avoidance, but in the negative aspect, where we try to avoid something that we actually really, really want because we're worried it will hurt us. But in the end, we're hurt anyway because we never tried and we never got it. Or we didn't follow through when we should have done. Or we didn't take the action when we should have taken it. And we are going to miss out now, definitely. And it's still going to hurt. Doesn't matter that you initiated it. It's still going to hurt. Yeah, trying to avoid pain doesn't avoid pain. That's what I want to say. I've got one more card that wants to come out from this deck. Believe in the impossible, blue moon. Interesting. Yeah. I feel like this is telling us to have a little bit more faith, a little bit more hope in the universe, a little bit more faith. Because I feel that even if what it is that you want doesn't work out this time, by following through with it, even if it doesn't work out, you're telling the universe that that's what you want. If you run away from it, you're telling the universe that's not what you want, so you won't get it. But you will get the pain still. We need to think carefully about the messages we're sending to the world and not just the superficial messages that our ego mind tells us that we have to portray to others to maintain our image or not lose face. Interesting energy coming through. And of course, if you'd like to know more about the law of attraction, you can buy my book. This is available on Amazon as a paperback and also in Kindle format, or you can download the PDF directly from my website, angelwingsholistics.com. My book is called Dream Bigger, How the Law of Attraction Really Works, and it is linked in the description below. So let's pop these cards away. And let's see what our little mushroom friends have to say to us. What guidance have they got for us? I'm going in with the Mushroom Spirit Oracle first. Now, unlike a lot of the readers on YouTube, I've always been more of an oracle card reader than a tarot card reader. That was always the language I preferred to work with. I find it more interesting, more liberating. Much as I love the tarot, and yeah, of course it can be very precise. I'm a bit of a rebel. It's my Aquarius rising. And I really love oracle cards. Okay. Like I've explained to many people, it's not about the tool, it's about the person using them and their gift and how adept they are at using it, and whatever morals they may or may not have as well, and ethics. You're dealing with the reader. It's not about, oh, I use tarot cards so I'm better. No, that's not how it works, because I could do a reading with Bedford's kitty litter that could be better than some tarot readers. You know what I mean? I could pick up a handful of Bedford's kitty litter, preferably not that he's already been on. I'd rather get it clean out the bag, scatter it on the ground, and I will give you messages from that. And that's how we can work. You know, it's not all about the tool. It's about you channeling your intuition, about you using your abilities. That's actually what's key here, what's most important. And that might be a message for somebody there as well, because I don't normally talk about that. I'm not one to diss other people. You know, we work in our own way, but I do get a bit annoyed sometimes when certain people try to make out that certain types of cards are superior to other. They're not, they're just different. That's like saying, well, a drill is better than a hammer. Well, for doing what? Anyway. Indigo Milk Cap 33, True Colours. So we've got number 33, the Christ Consciousness, coming out. Number 6, was it Mitaki, Celebrate? Looks like lots of mushrooms having a party there, doesn't it? Red Cage, Capture on 26. And Golden Teacher, Magic Mushroom, Introspection on 15. Look, everyone, we've got magic mushrooms. Okay. It's okay. It's only a card. Don't arrest me. Right. So definitely some lessons to be learned in the darkness. I mean, maybe you have been feeling the nudge to go to a retreat, to do some spiritual searching, maybe even, you know, using psychedelics such as ayahuasca, which are still permitted in certain countries, or San Pedro. That could be confirmation for somebody. Obviously, remember to make sure it's somebody safe doing it and experienced and legal, if at all possible. But there are definitely messages coming through here. And for some people, I feel it's about combating depression as well. The depression that beats us down in this reality, because we're basically living in a madhouse. Society today is not how humans are supposed to live. Not at all. And at one point we were so much more advanced, and I'm going back thousands of years here into our hidden history, our what you might call our lost history, because we don't have record of it anymore, but it existed, it was there. Humans were far more advanced. And we got dragged back into the dark ages. And we're still in those dark ages spiritually, and we are literally just about to come out of them now. So it's almost like with the dark moon, we are in the dark moon energy of humanity, and we have been, and we have seen all the atrocities that we are capable of when we're in that darkness, in that shadow, all the terrible things we're capable of. Even if we do know better. If someone tells us to do it who seems to have authority, people will do terrible things. What I call, well, war is essentially government-sanctioned murder. We know murder's wrong, but if an authority figure tells us we have to do it, a king or a government, people will do it. Why? They very much regret it afterwards for the most part. Especially when it seems to serve no genuine purpose. I feel there's a deep questioning in a big part of humanity right now, perhaps all across the globe as well, across the world. Really looking at, what are we doing? What are we even doing here? We're caught in this matrix, this flesh cage, the body that we have to live in, that we have to endure sometimes. What are we even doing here? Being productive? Does that really matter? Do you think? I was thinking earlier, Do you think when Bedford wakes up, he worries whether he's been productive enough today? No. He probably thinks, cool, I could use a wee. I've been asleep for a while. Goes outside, does his business, comes back in. Quite hungry now. I hope there's some tuna. He doesn't care if he's been productive or not. He is living. He has his contentment. He's happy. And he thinks, maybe I'll have a cuddle with my mummy. I like that. Or he'll go and secure the perimeter outside and fight some other cats. Wish he wouldn't do that, but he does what he feels the need to do. But he's not judging himself for it. He's not measuring himself against the next cat. He's not thinking, oh no, that cat's doing cat so much better than I am. They're much better at being a cat than I am. They're so much more productive. They ate 3 times the amount of kibble I did today. It's really not how cats think. I'm not sure that they think very much at all. Mostly fluff in their brains, but they live very much in the moment. And that's something that we could all learn to do a little bit more. To live in the moment, but also not to get caught up in the dross, the crap, all this nonsense we keep getting drawn into. The distraction that the ruling classes and the powers that should not be, the powers that were, which are falling out of favour now, falling out of power, because the energy's not on their side anymore. We do these silly little things, we go and do a silly little job. Most of our jobs are completely unnecessary, let's be honest. There are a few that are necessary, maybe the odd doctor or nurse or builder, but, farming, cooking food. But, when I used to work for an insurance company, I'd be like, my job's bullshit. The world isn't going to fall apart if I don't show up tomorrow. Accountants, why do we need them? Anyway, I won't pick on accountants. It's just an example. Money, why do we even need money? We don't really. Do cats have money? No. Do animals use currency? No. So why are we using it? Why are we in this cage of monetary enslavement? And why do we continue to put up with it? And the only systems presented to us by the ruling classes are those which serve them, not us. Don't think for a minute that they're trying to help us or trying to move us in a direction that would bring more freedom for humanity. Although that is what they will be lying, that's what they will be saying. Oh, we are going deep, aren't we? I wasn't expecting to go here, but here we are. So the Christ consciousness on 33 is coming through to show us the truth, to show us who our friends really are. And we get this on the macro level as well as the micro. So we'll be seeing it on the world stage. People, politicians, people in power, powerful people, royals, really showing themselves up for what they truly are. And don't think it's a case of, oh, well, my team are good and their team are bad. No, they're all bad. All of them. None of them are there to help you. They all have their own agenda. The agendas are very much being revealed now with the true colours coming through here. And the indigo colour of the third eye chakra is really helping us to discern, to see more deeply into everything we're looking at in the everyday world. And I see this merging of higher aspects of self, of more psychic, more tuned in aspects of self to the lower aspects, so that the wool cannot be pulled over our eyes again, so that we become these beings of higher sight, and it becomes permanent. It's a permanent evolution that humanity is going through. And this is under the microscope specifically, particularly now on this dark moon. We have a lot to learn. And it's very tempting to learn these things and then let the ego run away with us and get again, and then say, oh, well, I know that now, so, and then we find ourselves slipping backwards, not practicing what we preach or we thought we would preach, falling into the ego traps, thinking, oh, well, maybe this politician's different, they're saying they're talking common sense. God, I hear that a lot, don't you? Oh, I like this politician, they talk sense. Anyone can talk sense, especially when the rest of the politicians are talking absolute drivel. It's very easy to point out the obvious. If we think to the story of the Emperor's new clothes, a 5-year-old can do it. Oh, look, the Emperor's got no clothes on. Oh, he's talking sense. Are you going to put him in charge? Come on. No. We need to get beyond that. We need to grow beyond that. And we are getting there. We are getting there. It's just taking so damn long. Would you not hurry up already? Anyway. Maitake. Celebrate. Number 6, the number of the heart, the sacred chalice. The sacred coming together of people. Realizing that they're actually all one, although they look as though they're individuals, they're not. Realizing that when you hurt another, you hurt yourself. Or you hurt yourself on the soul level because you are part of the soul group. That every action has consequences far-reaching beyond the physical human ones that we think of. And many people are waking up to that. Even some of the politicians who are not quite so corrupt. Even they are starting to see it. But you'll really know when they see it when they step down and say, I shouldn't be in charge either, because no one should. Freedom is on the cards for humanity. It is on the cards. The collective shadow of the world right now is being considered, being looked at, about to be brought into the light. It's going to be interesting. Okay. All right, mushrooms. Showing off with your deep messages there. Okay. Let's get some of these Midnight Magic Tarot cards. Say what they would like to see. What they would like to say. Okay. All right. The Lovers, number 6. Oh, excuse me, we just finished on a number 6, didn't we? Maitake, the Empress on number 3. The Devil, 15. And the 5 of Pentacles. We've got some very big themes coming out here. These are all major arcana. Big cards. What have we got on the bottom? 7 of Swords, Deception. The Amethyst Deceiver. I always think that sounds very fancy. Like it should be some sort of romance novel. The Amethyst Deceiver. Maybe a fantasy romance novel. Okay. Alrighty. The Devil is a lobster mushroom. That's interesting. You know, I found out yesterday that lobsters can be very, very long-lived, like 150 years or something terrifying. And it just kind of reminds me of the saying, old habits die hard. We can get really stuck in old habits. And I'm looking at the items arranged here. It's like we've got chili peppers, hot and spicy. Are they passion flowers? They look a bit like passion flowers. I'm not sure what they are. And then these 2 very innocent white pure mushrooms here, seemingly caught in a spider's web, under the gaze of the terrifying devil, the lobster mushroom. But spider's web isn't really a problem for mushrooms. It shouldn't stop them from getting away, and we have this moth of illumination here, offering them the solution, if they care to look at it. Being a reflection of the star that they can't see because the lobster mushroom is obscuring the light, obscuring the wisdom. And so, and I think this is one of the reasons that some souls incarnate to be teachers on earth. Some souls incarnate to be spiritual teachers for others because it's necessary. Because there may be things blocking people's vision so they can't see the star for themselves. So the star sends down this bright, shiny moth instead. This bright glowing moth to show them what the light would look like. And the moth isn't a star. The moth is a moth. It's a little furry insect. Very cute. Unless you don't like moths. I like moths. I think they're adorable. Mr. Moderator does not like moths, which is quite funny, so I have to evacuate them normally. One time, my previous cat, Evie, who you may or may not remember, she brought in an enormous moth she'd caught. She was quite old as well at the time. She was no spring chicken. It was like this big. I swear this. I've never seen such a big moth in my life, but she brought it in and then proceeded to play with it, of course. And by the time I got to it, it was too late. The moth was a goner, so we just let her play with it for a bit longer. But in a way, we're talking about the Christ consciousness here. We're talking about the avatars that came down to earth to join us here. The enlightened souls, the people who come here, whatever stage or level their soul is at. I mean, that's a very human statement, isn't it, to even consider that that's something that would be important or relevant. We do like to rank everything, don't we? We like to rank and measure and rate everything. Oh, well, I'm not sure if I should listen to that source because I'm not sure that person's as enlightened as that one over there. That's bullshit. I mean, come on. You can get wisdom from a tramp on the street. You know, you can literally, words can come to you through any medium that they need to, and they will. And that is something about this world that I find very fun. Messages coming through however they need to come through. I had a very interesting revelation message the other day. I was working on my aromatherapy course. It's from the School of Complementary Therapies. Jacqueline Fairbrass's amazing holistic school. So hoping to be a qualified aromatherapist soon. As some of you guys may know, I started working with Neil's Yard Remedies, the gorgeous organic aromatherapy, skincare, body care. Particularly interested in the mum and baby range right now, so I'm going to be playing with that. But yeah, I was literally just reading the introduction. This is as far as I'd got. Just reading the introduction, and it was talking about photosynthesis, which I know we all study at school, don't we? We've all studied a little bit about photosynthesis and plants and how they convert light energy into energy, basically. And that's when it hit me. And I don't know why this has never struck me before, but it really struck me powerfully. I was like, so the light hits the plant photosynthesizes it into energy and into becoming a plant, and then everything else in the world lives on that vegetable matter. So essentially we are all fed by light. We are all nourished by light. Isn't that interesting? And I just found that so fascinating. Like, wow. The whole world runs on light, and we just somehow completely missed that. And maybe that's this devil energy here. So, you know, shielding our eyes so that we can't see the light that's actually sustaining us, nourishing us, the light of wisdom. Well, I mean, you could discuss that, you know, philosophically for hours if you wanted to, but I don't wish to go there. Philosophy can take you down many interesting paths, but it can also be a fool's errand. Because the fact is, we're all nourished by light. We're all fed by light. Fascinating. So with the Empress energy, we have the rise of the divine feminine. And that is what's been happening. We've seen it, you know, with women's emancipation, having the right to vote, having the right to not be the property of their father or their husband, being allowed to have a bank account, a mortgage, heaven forbid, you know, keep our own name. Goodness me, go to school, what? Be educated, to have opportunities. Still not seeing in all parts of the world, which is very sad. But we are seeing it. It's happening. And as it happens, the dark forces are trying to pervert that, trying to set humanity in the wrong direction so that they can retain control. And it's working to a point superficially, but it's also not working because people are seeing through it, seeing past it. It's taking its time, of course, but it's happening. So the rise of the divine feminine is not about women being in charge. That's not the point. It's about getting back to the balance of the lovers instead of the uncomfortable, restrictive, apparent balance of the devil. Devil is not balanced energy. It will tell you that it is. It will tell you that it's the only way. It will tell you it's the light and the truth. It is not. It will tell you it's the one true religion. It will tell you, I mean, doesn't every religion tell you that? Oh, this is the one true religion. Right. Okay. And I'm not including like Buddhism and Zen in that, because to be honest, that was never supposed to be a religion anyway. But somehow people manage to bring in dogma. They just can't help themselves. It's that devil energy again. The ego-driven, lower, baser urges, egged on by the dark powers that are currently holding a death grip on the earth, but not for much longer, is to get back to the perfect balance of masculine and feminine, the yin and the yang. That's where it works. That's where things come back into balance. But the problem is the energy has been in the favour of, I don't want to say in the favour of, that's not really the right word for it, because it didn't really favour anyone, not ultimately. But we've been in these patriarchal systems where the masculine, I don't even want to say the divine masculine, because it was the dark masculine that's been in power for a long time. So now the divine feminine is rising, the dark feminine is rising with her. And we need to be aware that we need to be integrated. This isn't a battle. Okay, this isn't a battle of the masculine versus the feminine. They have to come into balance. They have to find their divine balance. They have to recognize each other for who they really are and stop fighting. And the divine feminine is trying to do that. Okay. And she needs the masculine to step up and meet her. There's a whole rearranging of society coming up, and we can either do as we're told and end up in a digital prison, or we can find the new way. And the new way is there. It's absolutely there. It's just a little bit of a juggle to get there because we're not used to it yet. It's just going to feel a bit weird. Queen of Cups. And you may see this in your own life, this real yearning for balance. And I always say, I don't think it's fair that we work 5 days a week and have 2 days off, and then our boss or HR department, HR, don't get me started, just the words human resources. I'm not a resource. I'm a person. We used to be called personnel, that department. At what point did we start calling human beings resources? Ugh. You know, when I first heard the word human resources, I misunderstood what it meant. I thought it was like the resources for the people who worked in the company. It's not. You're just a cog in a wheel, a very easily replaceable cog. And I find that very dark language. The Queen of Cups, being in touch, being in balance with our emotions, understanding the darkness, understanding the powers that actually exist in this reality. What some people may refer to as magic or esoteric, occult, because they are hidden and they have been hidden from us on purpose, just as this star up here is hidden by this lobster mushroom from these two little mushrooms down here. Can't see it. And the moth is flying down here saying, it looks like me, look at me, I'm all lit up, I'm glowing. There's this thing called light and it looks like me. And they're going, pull the other one. I had a point. Where was I going? Where was I going with that? But yeah, we must get to that point of balance where our emotions and our physical needs are not just, I get X amount of sleep, I get X amount of food. You're not a robot. It's not enough. What about our emotional life? What about our psychic life? What about our spiritual life? When do we have time to do all of that? Where does that all fit in? Because at the moment it doesn't. Not for most of us, or you have to try and force it in. Where's the time for family? Where's the time for personal growth outside of some job? And I'm railing very much against the whole system of work because that was set up as a cage. the King of Pentacles. And I want to reverse this card because it's like money has become our god, because it kind of has to be, because how else do you survive? But there's a new way of doing things coming in. And it's not communism, believe me. that just leads to more despair. That does not leave room for spirituality. Knight of Cups. Spiritual wanderer returns. So there could be somebody coming back into your life on a very personal level, who's been absent for a while, coming in to help you to grow spiritually, to help you to learn spiritually, to guide your path, guide your footsteps, guide your eyes in the darkness. And the path is not without obstacles, but it is worth it. So new friendships, new relationships possibly coming in, old ones coming back, to help to find that new balance between the divine energies of masculine and feminine, because both need to be in balance. Very important. Lots of purple coming out that's jumping out at me today. So I want to bring in the colour purple as well. I want to bring in violet, the violet flame. Our connection to the divine through the crown chakra. Yeah. I want to say after this reading, if you have any cards of your own, sit down and take a moment and just balance, center yourself. Shuffle your cards and pull one and see what the message is for you, because I feel like there's a message coming out of the darkness for each of us. And it will be individual, of course, for each of us, although there is the collective message for the collective itself. And see what message there is for you. What part of this is your work? What part of this is your job? And I say job, not as in going to work and getting paid for it. I mean as in your job of being part of humanity. Because that's your real job, let's be honest. That's our real job, is to be part of humanity and to raise our vibration. Fascinating messages coming through today. That went a little bit deeper than I was expecting, but obviously that was necessary. We are under the influence of dark moon energy, so we shouldn't be surprised by that. So interesting time to do your own introspection, to do your own reading perhaps. I'm just going to spray us all with a little bit of Cosmic Dragon spray here, just to cleanse our energy. So I hope that was helpful to you, my friends. Please remember to like, comment and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, because I'm seeing a lot of people watching who are not subscribed. Shocking. Please subscribe. That's how YouTube knows that you like my work and they'll show it to more people. You take good care of yourselves. Remember to watch my new reading, Who Has a Crush on You, because I think that looks really fun. And I'll see you guys soon. Bye-bye.